And that's what the president wanted me to do. I ever gave my UN speech. But the request to the Congress, and the Congress passed a resolution supporting the president if he decided he had to take military action. That was months before I ever gave my UN speech.
But a lot of people counted on you.
I know.
You changed the ball.
I turned the dial. There's no question about it. And that's what the president wanted me to do and what I was supposed to do.
You regret it?
I regret it now because the information was wrong. Of course I do. But I will always be seen as the one who made the case before the international community. But there wasn't a word in that speech, in that presentation, that was not vetted and approved by the intelligence community. But that's neither here nor there.
Are you ticked?
Yeah. You know, I've had members of Congress say to me, well, you know, I voted for the resolution because of your presentation. And I had to remind them, no, you didn't. You voted for the resolution 3 months before my presentation.
But you helped public opinion.
I swayed public opinion. There's no question about it. But, you know, for months afterward, when we didn't find any weapons of mass destruction, we didn't find the biological vans or any of that, until 6 or 8 months later, the intelligence community still insisted that the items were there, and they weren't.
When you left, you were an unhappy man, weren't you?
No, I wouldn't say I was an unhappy man. I was glad to be moving on in my life.
Glad to leave?
At that point, yes. And the president and I had conversations in early 2004. When he was getting ready for, you know, the next campaign. And I said to him that I thought it was time for me to leave at the end of my first 4 years. I had no desire to stay on for a longer period of time. And I also made it clear to the president that I didn't think our system, our national security system, was working as well as it should, wasn't serving him as well as it should, and that he should think about making some changes, and I think the changes began with me.
All right, Shalom. This is Harwan Ben Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Harakah Kodash, Ma'amav. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nagwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. A few words on this situation with Colin Powell. Now, if you're familiar with Colin Powell, all right, let's see. He was the Secretary of State, all right, the former Secretary of State, I think for George Bush at the time, George Bush Jr. And he set him up for the whole, he had a part to play in the whole September 11th situation with Iraq, sending troops over to Iraq and Afghanistan to chase after the mysterious WMD, the weapons of mass destruction, with Saddam Hussein, they never found, was never existed, and they actually lynched Saddam Hussein live on TV, and we all saw it. You know, those that were paying attention at that time saw him get hung on TV. How many of y'all remember that? You know, and come to find out they didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. What Saddam Hussein was about to do was he was going to change back to the gold standard and move away from the dollar, which would have shut down the whole system at that time. So that's why they went after Saddam Hussein. He was one of the biggest holders in gold at the time, and he wanted to move to the gold standard and move off the dollar. And at that time, anybody that did that, it was looked at as an act of war against America, because it would crash the economy. So Colin Powell was used as a puppet by George Bush and their intelligence community teaming, most likely. But you know, anyway, their agencies, all right, full of eyes, damn seven. They were set up to use Colin Powell. And he believed the lie. He fell for it. And he's in that interview with Larry King, you heard him say how upset he was that he got bamboozled and he was tricked by the wiles of the devil. All right. never get that back. They used him. There was nothing he can do about it. He tried to come out in the media about it, about what happened to him and how they used him, but they swept it under the rug. So now you have Trump and them coming out talking crazy about Colin Powell, roasting him, saying he was a horrible person. You know, let me get these words from Trump. But yeah, he kind of was, man. He was being used at any moment by Esau. He was used as a lackey or a puppet. All right, and because of him, everybody bit the bait. And because of Colin Powell, a lot of people believed that they should go into Iraq, and they all agreed, and they sent the military into Iraq to go after Saddam Hussein, all right, for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. So ever since then, Colin Powell was set out to expose the tyranny within the American government. All right. This is former Secretary of State Colin Powell dies at 84, and you see what's blinking on the screen. I'm gonna try to make it blink so you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say it though, but yeah, the full gallon. You get what I'm saying? All right. So it says, so he was a 4-star general, and he was also a Jamaican, a Benjamite. All right, so our people are not supposed to be dealing with all that mess, man. All right, it says Donald Trump. All right, Donald Trump calls Colin Powell a classic rhino who made big mistakes in Iraq. But anyway, may he rest in peace. Oh shit, boy. Right? This is Sirach 12:6. For the Most High hateth sinners and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly. And that's talking about Esau and also the wicked of Jake that follow after Esau, man, want to be like them and shit. All in the damn politics and the government. We know, we used to call them, man, Uncle Toms. All right, they sold out. And they're trying to get back over the fence and they can't. All right. And they wound up trusting this crooked system that's purposely made to twist them. And that's what he did. He got twisted up, man. All right. So they got him out of here. 84 years old. And if you know what's in it, 84 years old, that's what was going around in his body. For the Most High hateth sinners, and will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. All right, and that's what he did. He kept Colin Powell in that spirit until the day of his death, so he wouldn't be delivered or saved. So now he died in his iniquities, but he's gonna be born into the kingdom as a baby. All right. Give unto the good and help not the sinner. A friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. That's why Colin Powell went through his adversity, and who right there, the enemy, Trump, can't be hid, man. He stepped right out there. Yo, he was rhino. Woo, woo, woo. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. Wow, but in his adversity, even a friend will depart. Never trust thine enemy. Like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Can't trust them damn devils. Alright, whether they're against them or not. Look at all of them. They all wound up being against him in the end and used him. Even though he was a high-ranking general, they used him to speak on a world scale about weapons of mass destruction that did not exist. He was livid. He was mad about that. Somebody should have went to jail over that. Alright, that's like treason. though he humble himself and go crouching, take good heed and beware of him. That's them politicians. Like Bush, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Alright, they was liars when he stole this country. And I don't know what about that guy Colin Powell, where he believed that Esau was some good individual, where you can trust him. Fraternizing with serpents and snakes. Alright, so his wickedness is not altogether wiped away, it's still there. Esau is the mystery of iniquity, the den of thieves. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, see, they've overthrown this man. He stand up in thy place. Look at Trump, jump right out there. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Alright, people like Bush and them. Alright, everybody look at Bush as some a community individual. A good president, right? That's how they look at him. They'll clap when he come out, applause and all that shit. Treat him like a celebrity. Well, Colin Powell, they treated him like the bad guy. Because they used him as a puppet. And it was like, yo, were you mad about that? Yes, I was livid. I was very upset. And that's all he could be, is upset. That's it. They knew there were no weapons of mass destruction, and they used this man, in front of his family to destroy his career. His career went down the hill since that moment. Right, look at all the hell that broke out over there in the Middle East since then. And look at the outcome of Afghanistan. Biden pulling the troops out of there. And in the war that they never won. They never got rid of terrorism. Look at Taliban. Look at what was the other one? Taliban, I can't remember the other one. But it'll come to me. So it says this: who will pity a charmer that is bitten with the serpent? Alright, or any such as come nigh wild beast. And Esau is that wild beast. That brute beast, man, natural brute beast. And who gonna pity a person that hang around them? When they get bitten. That's what Esau did, bit him. So one that goeth to a sinner, see, that's what in Psalms it says what? Sit not, follow not the ways of the ungodly, and sit not in the seat of sinners. So they're not supposed to follow after Esau. Alright. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? That's why it's hard to show this guy pity, because if you look on the screen, you see, he was fully loaded. He had a full clip. Got him out of here, man. Just like DMX and so on, going on and on. So who would pity them, man? Nobody. On every level, he was trusting the system, man. He was trusting this crooked system that's purposely made to twist him, to destroy the children of Israel. This is Romans 11:7. This fits people like Colin Powell perfectly. What then? Israel have not obtained that which they seek it for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So that we're looking at the example of a blind Israelite, a Gentile, calling himself American, Jamaican, General of America, and all this, Secretary of State. He reached that high up, man. He most likely was a Mason. I don't want to be putting that on him, but you just never know. Most likely he probably was. He was shrouded in secrecy, man. So the elect have obtained the truth and that high ranking that they're looking for. But the rest are being blinded, man. So they exalted amongst the congregation of the dead. So, the more they get exalted in this society, the more asleep they are. The more sleep you gotta be. Alright, according as it is written, Yahweh have given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day. So, so all the investigations and intel and technology that Colin Powell had at his leisure, he still didn't find the truth. And he's an Israelite. And David said, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. So when they go to read the scriptures, right, calling themselves Christians or whatever, Catholic, whatever, the Lord said what? It's going to be a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. So this scripture blames them, reproves them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their back all the way to his death, man. He bowed down to this system. He bowed down his back all the way. All the way, even up to these mandates. You know what I mean? This is Job 31:3. Is not destruction to the wicked? All right, so it's not destruction to the wicked. If they wicked or not, they're going to get destroyed. And a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity. All right, so this was a strange punishment being put on these people right now, the workers of iniquity, that following that path to death. Is dying in these strange ways, man, by Esau's strange ideas. And they covering it up. All right. It says, is not destruction to the wicked and a strange punishment to the workers of iniquity. See, even 2/3 of our people that work in the spirit of Esau want to be Secretary of State. Doeth not he see my ways and count all my steps? If I have walked with vanity, or if my foot have hasted to deceit, and they feet, people that's in the government and in these churches, their feet are hasting to deceit, man, to the lies on every level. So they're gonna trust the lies, so they can spew out the lies and become part of it, and then ultimately they're gonna be destroyed by those same lies and liars. The Lord said the deceived and the deceiver are his. So the Lord created Esau to deceive, and he also created 2/3 to be deceived. All right. No, it says this. That's why the question was asked, who will pity a charmer that is bitten by the snake, the serpent? They're going to say, man, he shouldn't have did that shit. He shouldn't have trusted him. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. He should have known they were liars. Especially him. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he should have known that these Edomites are liars, man. These devils out there. And he still decided to believe them and go with the mandates at his high age of 84. Now, not knowing about this, or disregarding the Tuskegee experiment. 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So Esau is being consumed with the truth, all right, with his word. That's why it said the elect have found it. And then shall the wicked be revealed. So the wicked are being revealed that they are liars. That's why people coming out with these testimonies. People like Colin Powell saying George Bush was a straight up liar. The intelligence community was straight up liars. Said it was weapons of mass destruction when they weren't. Now he died by those same lies and liars. All right, and that's the what? The spirit of Satan. Even him who's coming is after the workings of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, man. And that's why people like Colin Powell trusted these devils, man. Look where it got him. Look how he treated him. And with all, and still treating him after his death, just mocking him, talking shit. They letting Trump, it's bad when they letting Trump talk about him. All right. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish. So see, the ones that perish because of those lies, they believe those lies and deceit, and they perish by the same. All right, being led to, like sheep to the slaughter, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, man. So even Colin Powell could have been delivered, but he died in his iniquities. All right. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So the Lord put that spirit on Colin Powell and people like him to believe the lies of these devils and these Edom, in the system that was set up, their propaganda. So the Lord put the spirit on him, blinded him, that he should believe a lie, man. All right. So hey, man, who shall pity this charmer that's bitten by a snake? Nobody. That's the thing. All right. Play with fire, you get burned. Toy around with Esau, you're gonna get bitten by the poison or destroyed. Chill around liars, you're gonna get lied to. So hey, man, just with all due respect, man, I'm gonna say shalom.